cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to Music Monday, y'all. We know it's a lot been going on in the music industry. Of course, I've been around the music industry over 30 years, if not more, just producing for a lot of different local artists, a lot of different artists from other areas of our country and whatnot. But we know that a lot of times in this music industry, man, it gets serious when people have beefs or somebody say something on a record where they feel like they being dissed. But we do know that dissing has been a big topic in hip hop for a long time. Even the older guys, and I'm gonna mention these people names: Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick. You got so many other artists, Eric B. and Rakim. The biggest beef that I think we knew of back then, I think Freddie G, you mentioned once before, was Kumo D and LL. Mm-hmm. That was a big beef. Now, what we do know about these beefs, it wasn't between the record labels, it was between the artists themselves. For whatever reasons they was beefing, But nowadays, we have these artists and they have these beefs. They sneak this stuff and say stuff on the radio, on the records, dissing one of the other artists. But I think now it goes to a place where it shouldn't go.
Yeah, it's become volatile now,
right,
versus how it used to be 25, 30 years ago.
Because back then they would use it only on records.
Exactly. Now
it's starting to bleed out into the streets on violence. I think that it's a serious topic, and definitely depending on the age of these people that's beefing. If you our age and you rapping, or let's just say you 40 and you rapping, there's some guys our age that rap, professionally. If you are that age, you know right from wrong. If you beefing with somebody, you know what to say, what not to say. You should have a conscious mind to say, you know what, I better not say this because this dude probably really going to get offended by that. So I think what the artist needs to do is have the mindset to understand, okay, maybe I shouldn't go in on this dude. But one of the biggest beefs that's going on now, that's been going on for a little while, has been the Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and allegedly some of this stuff spilled out into the streets at a show in Drake's hometown in Canada, behind stage. Now, I don't know if it wasn't Drake that did nothing. He didn't put his hands on nobody.
No.
This could have possibly been fans of Drake. Or it could have been just crowd goers, show goers, people going to the show. Mm-hmm. But obviously they felt that Ricky Rose was being disrespectful as doing his set, and he played the Kendrick Lamar's diss song, They Not Like Us. Mm-hmm. Crowds get aggravated, and I guess they took that as a form of disrespect in Drake's hometown. And my thing is this: it's just a song, It's a diss track, and yeah, we take it serious, but it's only entertainment. It shouldn't bleed out into the streets.
I agree.
It
should be taken as solely entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, and not only that, I like Rick Ross fight, but I think he was just being a little petty. It's one of them situations you beating a dead horse. I mean, he already down and out. And you gonna go fly over to his city,
right?
And then play the song in his hometown.
Yeah.
Any other anybody else, I don't think he does that. He ain't gonna do that to no Jadakiss. You ain't gonna do that to no. You ain't finna do nothing to no LL Cool J.
Right.
You ain't finna go. Because you know the consequence. He knew wasn't nothing gonna happen with Drake.
Well,
like I've been telling y'all for the longest. Drake, I've been telling y'all about Drake for the longest.
He thought nothing was gonna happen, but we all
they
saw.
Fought, but if you go to, he wouldn't be living if he went anywhere else. Okay. You and I know. I ain't even saying I'm just telling you. If he'd did that to any other gangster, because we know Drake ain't really gangster.
Okay,
like
so Rick Ross played They're Not Like Us. They're Not Like Us.
In
Canada, right? So prior to him doing that, prior to him going to Canada, him and Drake already had some kind of disagreement, right?
Correct.
Here's what you got to ask yourself. The promoter did book Rick Ross to come to Canada.
That's right.
Probably knowing that they had beef. So he was booked, and the promoter felt like, I can make money if Rick Ross comes here.
That's right. And he made money because think about this. If the people showed up, they paid.
I ain't mad at the promoter
to come and see.
Rick Ross is the one who chose to play. He could play any damn song he wanted. But with all this beef going on with him and Kendrick, I thought that was being petty.
Right. Well, it probably was. It probably was being a little petty. But check it out.
Go ahead.
It probably was being a little petty. But if I'm already having beef with you prior to that, this song just add more stuff.
Right. More fuel to the fire.
To how I'm already feeling about you. Somebody else just made it. Had I made my own diss record about you, I would play my own diss record about you.
About you, right.
Because everybody know I already got some problems, issue with you.
So you're saying it was a shot. He took a shot at it in his hometown.
Yeah, it was a shot.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a phrase from you, Freddie G. You always say, you know who you can do that to. You always tell me that.
Yeah.
You know who you can do that to. Do you think Jadakiss or what David Brown, all them dudes would not have any New York? I would even say Will Smith.
Let me show you something.
I would even say Will Smith.
Let me show you something. And this goes, and I'm only gonna keep this. Yeah. I know that we're speaking of rappers and beef, but I just want to stick strictly to the gender. Every man that walks the face of this earth picks and choose who they want to battle with.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean physical confrontation. It could be arguments. It could be every man.
Right.
You could be 7'50",
right,
with muscles everywhere. You still gonna pick and choose
who you want to battle.
with.
Right.
Okay. So it could be selective. Okay, I'm a gangster, so I'm selective of who I push my gangster on.
Right.
But at the end of the day, now we all know who we can be selective with.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, who we can battle with.
And I think that in a sense of these particular people we speaking of, it's more to it than just I'm gonna pick you because I disrespect you. See, money got a lot to do with this. These guys will go after the person who they feel like got more money than them in order to gain that same type of money that they have, or put themselves in that category with that person that's got that type of money. Which that's been known. People been doing it for a long time, man. But I think that just this particular beef is too much involved. It should have never got to a violent standpoint. I don't think. I think now I can't say.
But it's not violent with Kendrick. Kendrick just, man, he tore him up lyrically.
Kendrick is not in, but Kendrick didn't play a part in
that part. Yeah,
right.
But that's what I'm saying. But their beef is much bigger than Rick Ross. It's way bigger. But no violence has happened.
Well, it's the Canadian fans that took it personal because, from what I understand, Drake had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So we can't comment as if Drake was responsible for
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he
wasn't. But the point I'm trying to make is, as much as the beef that's going on, the violence happened with Ricky and Drake, not. But
no, it didn't happen with Drake. It was
fans.
that
Drake's
was at
fans.
the
I was going to say Drake's fans in his backyard. So you might well say it's Drake because you took the flight all the way from Florida.
Well,
you flew to Canada to this man's backyard. I'm booked or not.
Now here's
you
the one
have
thing.
To play that song.
Here's the one thing where I feel like Drake should have probably not got involved in that. because allegedly he's took to social media
Yeah.
to like a comment about Rick Ross and them getting handled at this concert. Now, my thing is, at this point, Drake being a grown man, I think he shouldn't have liked the comment, whether you had anything to do with it or not.
Yeah.
Because it's going to damage you in a certain way that you probably don't want, you know, because you got all these people coming at you already. Man, stop. Don't get involved in that social media stuff. You know, I think he should have just been a grown man and said, you know what, I'm not finna come in. I'm not finna like this or none of that. Matters who it was, he should have kept his name in the clear. But that's what triggered, I guess, the other party, Rick Ross and them, to say, you know what, yeah, Drake got something to do with this because he's liking these comments about us getting handled in Toronto, Canada. You know, so I think it should have just been a different level Drake should have took on this, being a grown man and being the type of person, you know, with the type of money you have, man, you have to actually keep yourself out of the nonsense, violently, especially when it has to do with another artist, you know, because y'all in the same business. But it's a lot going on, and I don't want to switch around from that. But of course, this had made 50 Cent say something about this scenario.
Well, you know, 50 is the king of trolling.
And he's gonna troll.
He gonna troll. But he been chill here these last few years.
Well, now he
man.
haven't.
He ain't been really bad as he used to be before COVID.
Now this is something, and this is it's kind of similar on the same topic, but this is something that I saw that when I thought about this story, I was like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? Because you remember, it's a lot going on. You remember what's the guy that Supreme 50? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if y'all know. Obviously, this guy is about to start a label. So he's sending his son out to go and get, I guess, partnerships. So he went and sent his son out to get partnership with Rap-A-Lot,
Okay.
Ricky Rose.
That's not a bad move. Who else?
Now, and it's others. I don't remember, but these two stood out to me specifically because of the type of beef that's going on. Now, what I'm trying to say is, this is the guy who 50 shut down Murder Inc. behind.
Right.
That had something to do with a family member of his being murdered. So now this guy's on his way out.
Right.
And he's linking up with Houston's own Rap-A-Lot.
I saw that. Yep.
But 50, you live here. But then, you know, 50 got beef with Ricky Rose. I always have had. But this guy done went, and now I'm finna partner up with Rick Ross. But now, this is the strange part. Rick Ross is beefing with Drake. And your label, one of your people with you, label-wise, is getting ready to do a business deal with, you know, Supreme. And what I guess I'm trying to say is there's beef between Rick Ross and Drake. And now one of your management, Rap-A-Lot, Drake Prince, over Drake, is now linking up to do a business partnership with Rick Ross and Supreme.
Now that linking up is allegedly, right?
That's allegedly linked.
Okay.
But his son has been out here
politicking
with these
around.
people. You know what I mean? That's a dangerous game, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the industry needs to come to, because it could be a lot of stuff go on behind that.
Yeah.
Just being the situation at hand. And the main thing to me that gets me is these people are grown, man.
Yeah, they in their 50s.
These people 50 something, if not 60. What are we doing? Really, what are we doing?
We supposed to be getting this money.
Why it can't be a situation to where people are understanding of, okay, his family need to eat, my family need to eat. Let's figure it out. I ain't trying to take no money out of your food off your table.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just don't get that.
Yeah.
As I guess in the music industry, man, it's
like that in the comedy world too. You try to gang up. Man, let's get this money together.
And then everybody's against you.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
I think once you reach a certain amount of millions, like Rick Ross and Drake, and some of these other alleged beefs, right? You reach a certain amount of millions. I don't really think it's really about the money. I think it has a lot to do with ego and pride.
It probably is.
The male ego is fragile, man. And when you test another male's ego, and his peers are looking, he feels like, I need to stand up and fire back in some way, shape, or form.
Now, I agree, but is that being a man, or is that being a boy?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Being able to control your emotions make you more manly.
Right.
So the answer to your question is, if you're able to control your emotion, this is an opinion. If you're able to control your emotions and you're able to back down, it takes more strength to back down and to control your emotions than to fire off and be more emotional and go ahead. So if you're able to back down and control your emotions, I think that will make you a little bit more manly and more mature.
Right.
You know, but that male ego, man, is something, man, and the male ego is very fragile, man.
Yeah.
And these older rappers, in my opinion, man, need to be setting the example because it's the youngsters, rapper-wise, that are being more volatile because they're being killed. You know, the incident we're speaking of that happened in Canada was just, physical altercation, fighting or whatnot, but we've heard in the past how rappers have been killed
with the King Von
over this beef,
so
all them.
And it's so many.
Yeah,
it's so many, man. And now, not to change the subject, but since you mentioned these youngsters and what they doing, somebody allegedly Pop Smoke to dug up this man's grave.
Yeah. I saw
what
that.
What are they doing?
Come on.
What are we doing? You know what I mean? I mean, it's not making no sense to me because why?
I didn't hear that shit.
It's out there. They dropped the mama. She mad.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna say this. Once it was $500 worth of damage. They did put them out, but why would you dig it up?
What are you doing? What are we doing as a black culture? When do you step this low to disrespect a person that's already dead that cannot harm you in no kind of way?
The little young Julio, he just died. The same thing.
Yeah. Going
to people great. The girl rapper, I can't think of her name. She just got killed like maybe last week, I think it was. Because she was talking about her boyfriend that was in the grave, and she was kind of talking crazy. They killed him.
Here's what you notice in all of this. And we know that one of the biggest tragedies in the hip hop community is the Tupac and Biggie, right?
Right.
But here's what you notice with it all, man. It's never the rappers themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's always somebody around them, or somebody that's they may not be around them, but may be very fond of them, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. The rappers themselves, they actually are the ones that keep it on wax.
Right. And that's where it should remain.
But the people around them, they're the ones that's creating
it's the people around them, and again, this is why I feel like you have to be careful what you say on a record about somebody. Yeah. Because what you don't know is their emotion about what you just said. You don't know how they take to what you just said about them. Like, that's like your mama joke.
Right.
We used to do that as kids all the time. But we didn't know what activated that person whose mama we was talking about because of what we said. You know what I'm saying? We could have mentioned your mama, whatever.
That's funny you said my mama joke, but I guess this show was meant. Freddie G, you taught me this one. Again, it's another life lesson. He was good at the mama jokes when he was younger. Mm-hmm. But that nigga Freddie G pulled me aside. He said, when you say those mama jokes, you gotta be ready for whatever comes.
Because you don't
gotta be ready for whatever comes. And I stopped. I never did mama jokes.
You don't know the emotion of the other person. And what you said might have struck a nerve.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's the same thing with this rapping on records. You got to be careful what you say because that shit is in stone now. Boom, forever. For the rest of your life and theirs. Mm-hmm. for their kids to hear, for their grandchildren to hear. So you gotta mind what you're saying. And the worst part about that is, if it's a serious beef and somebody wanting to do something to you at a certain point, man, that shit can last 20, 30 years, man.
So here's the thing, though. Here's what's crazy. You know, when you're in, and I'm going to use the word fight for an example, but I'm not actually speaking physically. I'm just speaking, confrontation, argument, or whatever, or rapping, dissing. There's no rules in fighting.
Right.
So just because you hit me with a pillow doesn't mean I gotta hit you with a pillow back.
Right.
I'm gonna pick up this board.
I'm trying to hit you with something.
And I'm gonna hit you with this board.
Right.
But I don't care whoever started it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, once it started, now I gotta hit you back.
I got to get my leg back.
And there's no rules
Right.
on what I should use to hit you back. What we can say is that the beef, whoever's in the beef, it actually started. How it started, don't care, whatever.
Ain't nobody thinking about how it started now.
Yeah, it started.
It's just the fact it's going
now that it's here,
Yeah.
we're going to have to get
We're
it in.
going to have to get it in.
However, we're going to get it in.
Yeah, that's mainly what they saying. Now, the deal with this beef thing and why I want to mention that is because allegedly there's a new sneak diss track that Drake has talking about Kendrick Lamar. So this shit can last forever.
Nah, he better not release
Say
it.
that again.
According to DJ Academics, allegedly there is a new sneak diss track about Kendrick Lamar that Drake is releasing.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
slash. When you, with the slip of the tongue, when you said sneak dick, I saw a comedian 96 eyes light up when you said slick dick. I saw his eyes light up.
You know what?
Man.
Okay. I got you covered on that one. I got you. I got you.
You saw excitement.
No. You wait to think Thursday. I got your ass.
And then you see what he said after.
No.
Fuck you.
No, I can't believe he even tried.
The fuckery.
I know. I can't believe he even tried, even come out and you defeated, bro.
And right, I understand that. And I think that Drake really needs to leave this thing alone when it comes to Kendrick Lamar. I really think he needs to leave it alone because I don't know how many fans Drake has or how many he's gonna lose, but you're going against somebody that's not gonna stop.
But check it out though. I said something earlier. Deep down, he know he need to leave it alone, but the people around him instead of putting that kid in his back. He in the studio and they getting. I'm assuming that they may be drinking or a little inebriated.
Yeah, fucking with him. Ooh, that shit sound good.
That sound good, and they pumping him up.
Somebody's doing it. It's his producer. Man, we need this track. This is a good Kendrick Lamar diss track.
Look, I'm finna say he gonna have to move out of the country, but shit, he already out of the country.
You know what I mean? And not to diss Drake or nothing. And I do want to say something. Just recently, there was a flood in Canada where Drake's mansion got flooded.
Yeah.
So
I saw the pictures.
I just want to say, my condolences for that, man. Hope you get your stuff back together. But I also want to say too, man, this dissing on record stuff against Kendrick Lamar, man, we need to cut that out because what I know about Kendrick Lamar. Hey man, this man got the whole West Coast with him on whatever. And what you know about what we learned about the West Coast,
we already know they
real gangsters.
Yeah,
they ride or die.
Leave him alone. Just stop.
They real gangsters, and that's who they riding with, and we know that. Drake, you not a gangster. I mean, you do what you do, you make your money, you successful, bro. I think just leave it there because on the gangster type shit, they real gangster, man. Let's not do that. And I only want to say that to say, if we're gonna do these diss records, let's keep it on wax. Let's not let this bleed out into the streets. Let's show the people of our community that we can stand up and be grown men and accept the criticism that we get from other people. I think that's the main thing that we need to focus on. And if you my age or older, you really ought to have the right mindset on stuff like this because everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna agree to what you do. We know that. Let's just keep it on wax. And Drake, don't do too much dissing because we know Kendrick Lamar is gonna come back, and man, you know they not like us was a tough one. Yeah. So whatever he's got after that, you gotta sneak this allegedly.
Just keep it.
That's fine, but I just know that Kendrick Lamar, he's got more lyrics that's gonna be able to contest what you have to say about him. So let's just keep the beef out the streets. Let's keep it on wax. Y'all come back. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.